What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Welcome, everybody, and a happy Sacred Sunday to each and every one of you. I want to welcome everyone, starting with people that are in our Zoom room. I see many of our favorite friends coming in, including some of the SoulSearch friends that we've just met, such as Krista. So that's fun. And let us know where you're from geographically, whether you're in our Zoom room or all of you watching on Facebook or YouTube. I want to thank John and Summer Raymer. They get us out to as many as 100 Facebook groups and pages for every show that we do, so that's really fun. And a big hello to our friends watching on Unify from all over the world. And so whether you're in the Zoom room or watching on Facebook, let us know where you're coming from geographically. It's really fun to see that. Also, we've got an amazing group of people. It's really an abundance of riches because we have so many wonderful presenters with us today. And so there's going to be a lot of chat in the chat box. And so I'd like to really encourage anybody watching on Facebook, come on into our Zoom room. It's free. Go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com, and register. And when the registration page comes up, if you want to make a donation, fantastic, that's great. Or you can come in for free by using a promo code of new friend. So globalpeacetribe.com, promo code new friend. Okay. Well, I have a new friend that I'm going to introduce you to, and her name is Nicole Keating. And she's a wonderful new friend. And she is, of course, a big part of SoulSearch. And as those people that have been with us on Friday night and or Saturday night know, this whole weekend is dedicated to this wonderful organization, SoulSearch. And what we are doing with the Awakening World is collaborating with all sorts of wonderful organizations. In the past few weeks, we've collaborated with the Evolutionary Leaders Network, with the Relaxpansion Festival, with the RelationFlix program, and this weekend we're collaborating with SoulSearch. And so Nicole and her merry band of shamanic healer practitioner teachers are with us. And we're going to meet some really incredible people and talk with them and get some tips for ascension in the new paradigm. We're going to talk a lot about that today. So, but with no further ado, welcome, Nicole.
Thank you, Scott. So great to be here today with you again after last night. It's amazing what you're doing here.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's amazing what you're doing with SoulSearch and also just your own personal private practice. And I understand you're going to lead kind of an opening activation to help us to drop in.
Yes, I'm honored to do so.
All right, take it away.
So everyone, just find a moment to find yourself in space. You can close your eyes if you feel called, put your hand on your heart, or your womb or your dantian area, and just allow yourself to gently rock back and forth. Imagine that your feet are connected straight to Gaia, that they're growing roots right through the floor, all the way through the sediment, the rock, all the way to the core of Gaia. Imagine that those tap roots are wrapping around her crystalline core. And as they wrap around the core, you breathe up your tap roots, her grounded, sacred, holding mother energy. Go ahead and connect to the breath and imagine that you're breathing up these roots all the way up into your heart space. Your heart space is your sacred bridge between heaven and earth. You are the bridge between heaven and earth. Now imagine you're opening your crown to the central sun, to the sacred energy of the sun and the galactics, breathing in through the top of your head, the golden light energy codes. Take a deep breath now, bringing those codes back down to the heart, merging that energy with the energy of Gaia in your heart grid, breathing in the connection to all that is. And as you breathe out, just breathing out any worry, any fear, anything that's holding you back from being your fully expressed, fully open, fully loving version. Just breathe that down to Gaia. She takes what we don't need and she turns it into food. And then as you breathe up from the crystalline core, breathing in the grounding, mother, divine, sacred energy, you're held. You're held in this now moment. You're held in a space of love. And allow yourself to breathe all the way up to the central sun. Breathing that golden light energy now back down to the heart where everything merges. Everything merges with your DNA, Gaia DNA, and all that is. Feel the opening now. Taking one more deep breath in. And allow a smile to cross your face. Feel the gratitude of being alive. Feel the gratitude of being here in this now moment. Feel the gratitude of the connection that we all share in this ascension. Because heaven on earth is here right now, and it's a choice. Coming back into the room.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Nicole. Thank you. We're going to move over to our house musician. This is the wonderful Omashar.
Thank you so much. Gosh, grounded and expanded. Sing with me. This is, it's in the chat box. And move that body. Here with my family. more time only. Here with my family, heaven is in my heart. I sing of the love I am, and know we're never apart. One heart, one love, one life we live. There is only one heart, one love, one life
Beautiful. Thank you so much, beloved Omashar. Thank you so much. And of course, you can find all things Omashar at omashar.com or on his YouTube channel. He's got lots of wonderful things, lots of wonderful, wonderful things for us. And we'll connect with Omashar again today. Thank you, Prel. Nicole, I would love for you to introduce your friends that have joined us today. And we're going to just meet them briefly through their bios as Nicole reads them. And then I'm going to ask a question to each that'll give them a chance to get started. But Nicole, take it away.
Thank you, Scott. Well, first, I would love to introduce my dear friend and sister, Raquel Spring. She's a 4th generation astrologer who she combines working with spirit and astrology from the eyes of the soul. And she was born and raised in Brazil. Today, she's in Sedona, where she serves to mentor, write, and speak about the greater evolution that's taking place. I've worked with her. She's incredible. Welcome to the show, Raquel.
Thank you.
Next, I'd love to introduce Suzanne Ross. She's an author, speaker, producer, spiritual guide, living and serving in Sedona as well. She supports the awakening and the ascension of humanity through her books, events, shows, and sessions. I'm excited to get to know you and your work, Suzanne. I've heard so many good things about you from our sister Tanjila. Welcome to the show. Next, the goddess Kalina. I love this woman. She's amazing. She's a transformational, multidimensional quantum energy healer, a new earth, 5th dimensional, divine feminine leader. Kalina facilitates empowerment through activations, healing, and mentorship to assist the feminine of the planet of all ages to know thyself, love thyself, be thyself, leaving judgment and distorted subconscious fears and old programs behind. That's what we're doing in this ascension. And I've experienced Kalina's amazing work. She's fabulous. She activated my light language. Thank you, sister, and welcome to the show. And then certainly not least, Andrew Daniel Cates. He's somebody I've met from the day I moved to Sedona, a dear brother. He's a country Americana singer, entertainer who sings about love, life, and good times to raise the vibe one song at a time. A troubadour of love songs with sexy bravado and tambour, like distant rolling thunder, influenced by traditional roots and a gentle heart full of love. He's one of my favorite musicians here in Sedona, and I've witnessed him as a pure divine channel. He can literally channel a song right in front of you. Welcome to the show, Andrew. Love you, brother.
I love you too. Thanks for having me.
Oh, fantastic. What a wonderful group. Look forward to hearing from all of you about what ascension means to each of you individually and some tips, tools, and practices for each of us. But after she waxed so poetic about you, Andrew, I'm wondering if you'd like to give us an opening number.
All right. Yeah. Might as well, you know. A time like the present. The song's called, it's like one of my favorites. It's called Love and Freedom. So hopefully it comes in loud and clear for y'all to hear, but it goes something like this. Is that coming in pretty good?
Yeah, you sound good.
Good morning, beautiful. Good morning, beautiful. How was your night last night? You sure slept like an angel, living in love and freedom. While you were dreaming, could you hear those angels singing? Amazing grace, oh yeah, living in love and freedom, living in love and freedom, living in love and freedom, yeah, love and freedom. So take your time and savor those moments, holding the ones you love. Let them know how much they mean to you, so we can live in love and freedom. Living in love and freedom. Living in love and freedom. Oh, yeah, love and freedom. There's another way, there's another path to liberation. Surrender to love, it's the most high, living in love and freedom, living in love and freedom, living in love and freedom. Yeah, when the world's upside down, everybody's feeling blue, we can't remember to come together so we can live in love and freedom. Love and freedom, living in love and freedom, living in love and freedom. Yeah, 'cause everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be free. Everybody deserves to be living in love, peace, and harmony. Living in love and freedom. Love and freedom. Good morning, beautiful. Good morning, beautiful. Living in love and freedom.
Beautiful. I'm going to go to gallery view where we can see everybody applauding and twinkling.
Woo!
Beautiful, Andrew.
All right, thanks.
You know, those beautiful words actually have kind of given me inspiration for our first question for everybody. Obviously, there's a lot of hard stuff going on in the world. So, my first question for everybody is, how do you personally choose to live in love and freedom? And I'll start with you, Andrew, since you just sang the song. What's a tip or a practice for you that when the craziness, whether it's your personal life or the outside world, comes on, how do you choose love and freedom?
Wow, that's a really good question because I'm sure that's different for all of us. But through the through the practice of life, from like where I've come and where I am now, especially the gift of music, that's been my main medicine. But also, I think just like my astrology too, like being like in the zodiac of Taurus with like the ruler of Venus, really helps me tap into love. I like carry the lover's archetype, and I know I'm like here to shift that. But through my own darkness, remembering to come back to love, I write songs, I share my music wherever I can, but also just to remember to be the calm in the storm and in the chaos, and like that is a choice, and we don't have to participate in it even though we're here. But I just more and more lately, I just see lots of illusions and deception out there that I'm just no longer engaging in, to just constantly come back. Like I've noticed in my walk, I stay in prayer a lot, so I'm like always staying connected. And also, one thing I did this past year, I've been feeling it for a while, but I needed to get like earthing shoes, so I bought some like really cool moccasins that are like earthing moccasins, and I just wanted to stay more grounded daily, even also alongside with like going into nature constantly. So I'm like always around water or like nature or that together, just remembering to just like be quiet and kind of witness the magic of creation always around. And so there's lots of medicine out there. And when we get quiet and we can just like kind of shut off the noise and the talking and the constant going, we can just allow our nervous system to relax and just go with the flow, just like the waters and the rivers. So
Mhm.
yes.
Well, those are some beautiful, first of all, fill your heart, and I appreciate the suggestions, the good suggestions. More time in nature for sure. I'm going to switch over to you, Nicole. Um, what when it's especially crazy, what do you do to choose love, freedom, connection?
Yeah, I think something that's really important to me and is the recognition that I do get to choose. So choice is something I'm ever present to. So as challenges or opportunities present themselves, I get to choose in that moment and in the next moment how I show up to that. And I last night I was sharing, I really do like to bring in play into my everyday, every morning. I have a playlist. It's like my 2022 dance list, and I start my morning with dancing around the house. And so from that different frequency, I find that much better things come my way. And when things do come my way that are challenging, I feel like I surf or navigate through that. If I forget to do this practice or something's in the, I've noticed a huge difference. So for me, it's bringing in joy and play first thing every day, and then I can just surf the waves. And I really believe that everything is alchemy. So what am I to learn from this? What is this opportunity or challenge teaching me? And learn taking everything as a teaching moment in my life. So that's a lot of what I do. And then always, just like Andrew said, coming back to love. I've learned to really self nurture myself and put my hand on my heart and my womb. If I have things that are coming up really deeply emotional, I will literally comfort myself and I will love myself through it. And that's also been a really powerful practice.
Beautiful. Thank you. I'm loving these tips and tools and practices that we're hearing from people. So thank you. Let's go to Raquel next. Hi, Raquel.
Hello, Scott. Hello, everyone.
Um, uh, Beautiful to meet you, and would love to hear how do you manage uh, coming back to love, creating connection when it's especially crazy out there or in there.
Mm. Such great tips from everybody here so far. I just love to hear and feel into how everyone uses their gifts to tap into this. And beautiful song, too, Andrew. Beautiful, beautiful. Love and freedom. You know, Scott, to me, it always boils down to going within, because I feel that everything that happens in my outer reality and the way that I perceive it, especially, and the way that I feel about it, has to do with something within me that is communicating to me. So I personally, I like to start every morning by going within.
Hmm.
And being with the breath, for me, I feel that the breath is one of the big lifesavers, because the breath, it shows me, I'll speak for myself, it shows me exactly if I'm holding on to anything and where. So I personally, I like to start my morning with that and just kind of tune in with myself and check in and make sure that everything is flowing and I feel that peace and that freedom and that love, and it's unconditional. And then from that place, I can then overflow that freedom, that love, that joy. And then, of course, go out and interact with friends and people. A lot of times that lifts me up as well and brings me a lot of joy. So yeah, it's always about going within. And some mornings I wake up and I'm feeling amazing, and I breathe that in and I amplify that and I savor every moment of it. And other mornings I wake up and something is off. And
Yep.
I'll just breathe that and just not try to figure out what it is, not put any thought into it, and just be with it and breathe it up and breathe it down. And every time is different. Sometimes you get aha moments, other times you just be with it. But that's how I personally work through finding love and joy and freedom.
Oh, beautiful. Again, everybody's tips, and it's wonderful to kind of just feel your vibration. And when you talk about the times you wake up in the morning and you're a little off,
Mhm.
the motto for my company, Love Coach Academy, is how perfectly human. And it's
Right?
wonderful, right? And it's wonderful when we're in that ecstatic state, but
It's
there's also
okay.
those perfectly human moments where it's like, you look in the mirror, and sometimes I look in the mirror, it's like, oh yeah. And other times I look in the mirror, it's like, ah, how perfectly human, right?
Exactly. And Scott, it isn't always about love and light. And that's the whole point of all of this. So being able
Yes.
to sit with every part of it all the way through, there's so much freedom in that.
You
And if
know,
you can be
that,
present with everything, including the discomfort, you
that's
can be
right.
present with anything.
Absolutely. And that's what the great master teachers teach us. They don't teach us how to be happy all the time. They teach us how to be present to what is.
Exactly.
And sometimes there is suffering. So thank you. Well, we'll definitely look forward to hearing more from you. What a wonderful group of people you've got here, Nicole. And I'm going to go to Kalina. Hello, Kalina.
Hello, Scott.
Well, of course, same question as a chance to get to know you a little bit. How do you connect to love, connection, freedom, especially in the hard times?
You're gonna laugh. But first, I want to say thank you to Andrew. It's nice to see you again, Andrew. That was a beautiful song. As Andrew sings in English, I sing in the language of light and the harmonic vibrations and frequencies at elevated levels. But when I go to bed at night, this is one of the key things for me. I go to bed in the higher frequency, so that when you wake up in the morning, you're waking up in that same energy and vibration again. So I can wake up and there'll be fairies all around me and stuff. So A lot of people that don't know, we don't understand. I see everything and I work with these different dimensions. So for myself, it's to be part of all that we are at once and owning who I truly am, because we've changed the relationship with ourselves. So when we change the relationship with ourselves and we really find the true self of who we are, in everything that we do, everything that we think, everything that we say in every moment of the day, we truly can get past letting go of all of the programs that have been in us. So when we do that, it's so simple to actually be in that higher energy and higher love light. I do love to be in nature and on the earth. I have to have it. I have to ground, because I'm more one of the ones that's always flying. So I need to balance myself. I've got to be outside. I do the breath work. I do meditate every single morning. It's very important. And sometimes I meditate 3-4 times a day, just to realign with my divine sacred heart and realign with my entire physical body and the soul and all the subtle bodies. Because if you get off course, you know it. And it's so simple to just come right back in. A lot of people can use the breath to do that, but I just say, now align with my divine sacred heart, and you feel it. And it happens. And everything that you have been focused on in a moment that could be at a third dimensional level, that might be of anything that could be of a negativity, it easily lets you see it from the big picture of why you need to go through and transform something, removing the duality and the fears. So those are little things that I do.
Those are beautiful things and big things. And for people who don't see fairies at night, what would be a way that we could kind of create the highest vibration in kind of a multi-denominational way? Any tips for how people can do that when they are getting ready to go to sleep at night?
Well, like Nicole says, she dances in the morning. We don't want to dance too much at night, because a lot of people will be up if you're in the high vibration. But singing in that higher vibration, singing the harmonic, listening to the solfeggio music, so you can tone, you can do things that are going to allow you to raise your frequency and vibration. Listen to that beautiful music. Do the thing. Crystals. I'm a huge crystal person. Hold crystals that take you right into that higher dimension. You can feel them. If you're not open to energy, you will start feeling them. Everybody, I think, in Sedona's got crystals around them. Even Nicole's got hers up. It's the crystalline frequency, because we're becoming that. So you can really tune into it. Like if I hold these, I go right up my body. But the toning, I want to say, and listening to those higher music, so doing anything that makes you happy is the key to aligning with that higher frequency and higher vibration of your soul self. The things that make you happy, bring you joy. Only you make yourself happy, and only you bring you joy. That's the important key to this. So do what you love to do. And whether you see things or not, you're going to feel it.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Thank you. Just last week we had somebody on this show, and she gave a great recommendation, which is to make a glass of water and bless it, and then put it out where the moonlight can fill it during the course of the evening. And ask your angels or fairies, whatever energies, to fill that water. And then in the morning, you drink the evening's blessings. And I just think that's such a wonderful idea that came from Meredith Heller, who was on the show last week.
I love
Hey,
that. I love that.
isn't that a lovely idea? And it sounds so simple, and it's like, I'm 66, and it's the first time I've ever heard that idea. And it's so basic and simple, and everybody can do it. So we always are learning, always learning. All right, well, the next question for all of you. Our topic today is Ascension in the New Paradigm. Now, I want to acknowledge again that all of you are pretty far advanced down the road. And that's why you're here presenting and speaking. So as you each share, what does ascension in the new paradigm mean to you? And what's a tip or a practice that you could suggest to our audience? And I'll kind of go the same order. We'll start with you, Nicole.
So Scott, I think Suzanne also hadn't had a chance to
Oh my
share.
gosh, I missed Suzanne. Oh no!
So maybe start there.
You know what? What's happening is she's not showing up as I'm looking for panelists. I'm not seeing her here. I'm going to go to gallery
Right
view for a
here.
minute. There you are. Okay. I am so sorry, Suzanne. So there you are. Yeah, I apologize, and I wasn't seeing you in.
No worries.
Okay. I think it's also we're having internet issues today, and your internet unfortunately is back down to the red zone, and your little. But we love Suzanne Ross, and Suzanne is one of our regular presenters. She's been on Saturday Night Live. She's been on The Awakening World. She leads amazing tours and events. If you go to Sedona, you're going to hang out with Suzanne because she's I think she's the informal mayor of Sedona. And I'm planning on doing a retreat with Suzanne and Tanjila. So anyway, Suzanne, your response to the question, what do you do for greater love and connection?
I love my tribe. Everything everybody said resonates with me so profoundly. And it's like, yes, yes, yes. And definitely got my crystal here with me. Spending time out in nature, like Andrew said. Like you said, Scott, stay present in your heart at all times. What I wanted to contribute today is having faith in the divine plan, that everything that's unfolding has a higher meaning and purpose in our lives. Just last week, I almost lost my beautiful mother, who is 85 years old, and it really awakened me to the realization of how important it is to truly embrace every moment of every day, to stay in your heart and notice when you're in your head. Just seeing the beauty, grace, awe of every precious moment of our lives, and not to waste any minute of it. I realize that there is great suffering in the world, but when we see that everything is on purpose and we stay in that faith that everything is in divine order and divine timing, I think it really helps to get through the most challenging times and to recognize how we can alleviate that suffering for ourselves and others by staying in service, radiating our love and light every moment of every day as we go out into the world, uplifting and elevating others, not just through all of the services and books and journeys and sessions that we all offer, but just every moment with our friends and our families. And when I was at the hospital, it was like just radiating that love and light and gratitude to the nurses and the other patients and the other family members and my own family members, just trying to keep that high level of the love light frequency and sharing it with everyone around me, reassuring everyone that there is a divine plan and that we can always try and see the highest good in all that is unfolding. So I would say keeping the faith and being present in every moment, you find yourself getting lost in your head, especially when you're out in nature or with others, just to come back into your heart and be so very appreciative of the moment that is unfolding right before your eyes, and see the good in it, see the highest good in it.
Beautiful. Thank you, Suzanne, and thank you for, again, I apologize. You are precious, and
No
everything you just
worries.
shared was awesome. Just beautiful. I mean, what an amazing group of people we get to commune with this Sunday morning. All right, I am going to you again, Nicole, and let's hear what everybody has to say about ascension in the new paradigm. What does that mean?
Thank you. So I believe that we're here, like that we came here to hold the frequency of creating heaven on earth now, like inside of us and all around us. And what I've learned in my experience of living in Sedona, because I actually came from the Bay Area. I came from, before, I had a podcast many years ago where I actually dug deep into, some of these things that were going on in the world. So I've had like that duality of experiencing all of those things. And now being in Sedona, where there are a lot of people holding love and light. And of course, we know that there are challenges and darkness and personal wounds to move through. But what I've noticed is, for me, that my personal alchemy with this is I do pay a little bit of attention to what's going on in the world, about 5% for me. And the rest of my energy is going into holding the frequency of heaven on earth and what we are creating. Because, if you look at what's going on in the world, it's almost like the old paradigm is dying, like in the Wizard of Oz, where the witch is screaming and melting, right? It's like these things are getting louder because they're going away. And so I believe that if more of us can hold the frequency of what we are going towards, calling in the new systems, calling in the new heaven on earth communities and projects and ways of collaborating, like SoulSearch is one of those. That's why I found myself very attracted and right in the middle of it, is because SoulSearch is a new earth sacred system. So I really believe in focusing most of my energy, 95% of it or more, on what I'm here to create and the frequency I'm here to hold, and loving everyone wherever they're at on that process of ascension.
Beautiful response. Boy, if the whole world can do just that, Nicole, then we would be experiencing heaven on earth. Absolute beautiful response. Andrew, I'm going to go to you. What does ascension in the new paradigm mean to you, brother?
All right. Beautiful share, Nicole, and everyone, thank you. So, yeah, I feel with like learning more about my astrology and like soul blueprint and whatnot, and then of course just like staying tuned into the synchronicities happening all the time. I've noticed I do see the number like 144 a lot, or 1144, and through my own awakening, I definitely, like, I carry like the warrior spirit within me, and it's like very much alive, but here to be like a warrior of the heart, to be peaceful wherever I go. And like even this morning, I woke up with like a lot of frustration, being kind of angry about certain things that are like out of my control, and just remembering that it's really like fuel for the fire to create more with all of the chaos going on and whatnot, to continue to create more songs, like medicine music, to be the contrast to that and raise the vibration wherever I go, which is really beautiful, because every time I get to share my music as a live performer in public spaces, I play in 432 hertz, and I get to notice these. I'm like constantly planting seeds through the language of the songwriting and like the presentation of it. and everywhere I go, it just seems to be really well received. So what I see is my personal self with the, with the soul family coming together, who are like all of us doing this work, are really the bridge to the gap. And so not being distracted by the illusions and just like constantly putting out our gifts and whatnot is collectively like raising the vibration. And I really like what Nicole said about like the old system dying, being really loud, trying to hold on. What I personally see is that it, even in my own life, it's like these old ways that it's not working anymore. And so with like the disharmony and like the things that are out of alignment, I've realized at a pretty young age, actually, I've had a lot of I've experienced a lot of like tragedies in the form of, like people passing away, and really getting to see that like how evil or darkness works, and to offset that. So it's really just made me more compassionate for humanity and where people are at. So it's what makes me really grateful to be alive, to share my gift. So I guess my message in all this is to pray like there's no tomorrow, live like there's no tomorrow, and to share your gifts and speak your truth in any way you can, and go out there and really just have fun and live life as much as possible, even through like I find humor in all of my own like bullshit, I laugh a lot at myself and experience all my emotions and just allow it to be what it is. But most of all, with that warrior spirit of seeing how critical it is to raise the vibration and choose heaven on earth, is to constantly choose that and not engage with the illusions or the other paradigm that is trying to destroy what we're trying to create. So to become more of what we're trying to create all the time, and definitely living in the moment. Like yesterday is gone and tomorrow doesn't really matter at this point because we're here now. So yeah, blessings to the moment now, and raising the frequency to choose heaven right here, right now. Hallelujah. And so it is.
Hallelujah, and so it is. It was a beautiful response and beautiful series of suggestions, Andrew. And yes, humor. Um, I'm staying with my good friend Jonathan Robinson in Nevada City, and he was telling me the story of when he met with the Dalai Lama about 20 years ago. And he asked the Dalai Lama, what's the key to everybody, the world peace? And the Dalai Lama says, I have a sacred object that will answer your question. Wait right here. And he goes into his other room, and Jonathan is expecting him to come back with some sort of a talisman or something. And he comes back wearing, the Dalai Lama, wearing a bozo mask, with the bozo nose and the eyes and the clown thing. And the point was more laughter, more joy. So, Andrew, you and the Dalai Lama are delivering a similar message. At least I'm hearing that message this week together. Let's hear what Raquel has to say. Raquel, I'm eager to hear your response to awakening the new paradigm, what that means to you, and what some of your practices are for that.
Well, one of the gifts of being an astrologer is you get a really large perspective over everything that's happening. And, there is no way to run away from the fact that we are going through a massive transition. There's been so many different astrological factors that have been coming in place for the last at least 3-4 years that have been paving the way for this. And they're all signaling a new paradigm, a new reality, a new system. And so this is why we see, it takes a while for the rest of the world to catch up, of course. And so we have this period where people are realizing that the old doesn't work anymore. And this is just really about finding out, well, what does work now? So, with the help of astrology, and of course, just with our own wisdom that we have with knowing everything this has been prophesied, it's been talked about for thousands of years, this point of history. And really what's happening right now is that we are at the threshold of a quantum leap in evolution. And so ascension is nothing more, nothing less than a quantum leap in evolution. And this is really a shift in perception. This is like adjusting the lens just a little bit to give you a little more bandwidth so you can see more light, more information. And in this, we have the new gifts coming in. These are just natural states of being that are now being turned on. So we are going to start experiencing more things that are considered ascension, right? We're going to experience, for example, telepathy. Telepathy is a big one coming in now with the Aquarius, the age of Aquarius coming in. And with that, there's also a brand new state of awareness, illumination that is entering the planet. So just understanding this in and of itself is already such a lifesaver because it gives you permission to just pull out from the old. And when you do that, you start to then reshape your own way of viewing reality. And this is very important because everybody is going to have a slightly different way. And that's okay. It's all about the evolution that is happening, but we're each going to have a slightly different way of using our gifts or understanding our roles in this new paradigm. So it's so essential that we go within during this time and allow ourselves to tweak our vision, tweak our perception to start to see just a little bit more. Because there is a lot of new coming in. So as we just relax into this new and don't get caught up in the old, this is what I have to be, this title, this person, this work, we're branching away from all of that. Even the spirituality, the spiritual communities, there's so much more coming in right now. So just allow yourself the gift of freedom of perception, freedom of evolution. And in doing that, I think you're on a really good track because that's what I do. I just pull myself out from the world, from what people are saying, what people are perceiving, and I allow myself to see what's the new information that's coming in. So that helps a lot.
Fantastic. What a wonderful, wonderful advice. Relaxing into all that is new and letting go of our attachment to old ideas, beliefs. I love that quote by Einstein, I'm paraphrasing, which is that the true measure of intelligence is how quickly we can change our beliefs. And that's kind of what I'm hearing from you, Raquel.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful.
Exactly. Including in the spirituality and our spiritual way of perceiving and thinking as well. So
yeah,
everything.
Exactly. Because otherwise we become self-righteous. And
absolutely.
And there's self-righteousness everywhere. And we point, the people in the New Age point to self-righteousness in, say, Christianity or fanaticism, but we can become just as fanatical in our New Age beliefs.
Right? Well said.
Yeah. Thank you, Raquel.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. We have not heard yet. And you're getting applause from Nancy and others. I see that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you all. Much love. We're one.
We'll go to Kalina and then, of course, to Suzanne. Hi, Kalina. You're up. Well, I'm sure you definitely have some wonderful things. Also, everybody is sharing so beautifully today. This is a wonderful show. Your thoughts about ascension in the new paradigm?
Well, we are truly leading by example through our heart choices, rather than falling into the trap of the false created ego consciousness. That's the old paradigm. So moving into alignment again of that sacred heart and being able to feel everything and make our decisions from here now rather than from here. This is the massive change that everybody is moving to now, to feel things Before we were so disconnected from feeling, and it's such an important part of this process that everyone is going through now. You see all the things happening on the planet, and as they're happening, people's hearts are opening from them. There's catalyzation happening. So when we do this, we become that walking presence of Source, living in every moment and making those conscious choices from here. We don't let the past control us, and we don't worry about the future either, because the future may never happen. It may be your last day. So live this moment today, you know, in that highest love light and compassion for others. Compassion and gratitude is so big right now. People are opening to things that, these feelings, these emotions, these sensations that they haven't before, because they've been so involved with their service to self. Now we're opening up to our God selves, and that's where we're becoming that leading example of that walking presence of Source. We were so dehumanized before. Now we are actually becoming that organic human, aligned with the Source self. We are aligned with our spirit. Everything is interweaved and interdesigned, and we're becoming one with ourselves. We're changing the relationship with ourselves. And as we change that relationship with ourselves, we're changing the relationship with everyone around us, and dismantling and dissolving all of the programs, all the old paradigms that we've held on to. And as we're doing that, that's why everything's happening on the planet right now, because the entire ascension happens through each person. It's all happening because we're changing. And as we change ourselves and change our frequency and vibration, Gaia gets to move with us. We have to match her. She's going through her own ascension too, but we've got to match her, and she matches us. And if we don't, we'll choose to leave the earth, because it'll be too much for us. But it's all about the shift and change within us to change everything else around us. That's what I feel.
Thank you so much, Kalina. Again, another beautiful response and very inspiring, very inspiring. Suzanne, I'm putting the spotlight on you. And there you are. Well, I know that you also...
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah. Ascension, you are also someone I know is very on the ascension pathway, of course. What would you like to add to this conversation?
What I'd like to add is this recognition that we are in this bifurcation where there is an ascension and a descension happening. And it's just a natural cycle of where our solar system is on this elliptical wheel, now aligned with the center of the Milky Way galaxy, through which the Hindus would say divine consciousness flows. And at this time, we can open our hearts to allow these supercharged photons of encoded light to come in through our hearts. And as it does, it raises our light quotient and even activates dormant DNA within us, bringing more of our brain online. If we can truly be open to receive that, and then not judging what's happening for those who are choosing the descension devolution arc, because it's just a different timeline, and maybe their souls aren't done learning the valuable lessons that the 3D reality of duality has to offer. And so some are choosing to move into that descension devolution, back into the dark ages, that 13,000 year descending arc. And many of us are choosing this opportunity here in this golden age of enlightenment to ascend and evolve with all that we're doing. And so we're done learning the lessons of duality, and we're seeking unity and peace and harmony as together we co-create the new earth. But I think it helps to realize that for those who may be new onto the 3D plane, that they are desiring, their souls are choosing that descension, devolution, and that maybe as these timelines shift, there are two timelines, and one may be moving into the new world order, and maybe for other souls on the planet, they are happy with this idea of you will own nothing and be happy, and maybe they are comfortable with the idea of artificial intelligence, and they want to choose that reality because they have valuable lessons to learn within it, and it's their choice and it's their soul's journey. And so I think it's helpful to stay out of judgment about what's happening on the planet at this time. Again, it goes back to faith in the divine plan, that each soul is on its own unique journey, and it's a matter of the soul's readiness to either ascend and evolve into the next higher dimensional plane, and or to choose that descension devolution arc and learn the valuable lessons their soul still has to learn, and not ready for the 5D ascension yet until they master the lessons in 3D they came here to learn. And so I hope that makes sense for everyone to, as we watch what's unfolding on the planet, just keep faith in the divine plan that all that is unfolding may be serving the highest good for all souls on this earth plane at this time.
Beautiful. I love your inclusivity. and that's important. It is really important for us to be inclusive. That helps us to not go into self-judgment or self-righteousness. All right, I'm going to read two questions. One came from our Zoom room, one came from Facebook. And as we do our next cycle, you can respond to one or both. The one from our Zoom room comes from Dorina, who's actually coming to us all the way from Ecuador. She writes, "Thank you, everyone, for your wise and beautiful sharings today. My question, what is your take on the process of descension," which is interesting because Suzanne just talked about that a little bit, "of descension and full embodiment and acceptance before experiencing ascension?" So there's a really good question from Dorina. And then the other question that's coming from one of our Facebook groups is about quantum physics and parallel realities, and any of your personal multidimensional experiences or wisdom that you might have about there being parallel Earths, parallel realities, and therefore there are going to be parallel futures. So that's a lot to work with. And I'm really eager to hear what each of you are going to have to say. And we'll start with Nicole.
Wow, those are great questions. And I love the idea of, I haven't really actually tuned in that much to the idea of descension. I definitely understand, Dolores Cannon's work of the different timelines. And I know I choose to focus on the timeline that I want to create. But I do really believe in the embodiment and acceptance of the darker parts of ourselves, of seeing everyone and everything that's bringing up discomfort or wounds as our teachers. I really believe in embracing that and moving through it, like Raquel was saying earlier, just really tuning into what the experience is inside of us and outside. Because I really believe in the inner and outer worlds, or they're mirroring and matching one another. And so if something in my environment is showing up in a certain way, then I look within and I start asking questions and getting curious. That's my way, is getting curious about what what that is. And also something that has recently come through to do that work is mirror work, and really looking in the mirror into my own soul. And I feel that that really deepens the experience of moving through that, and not just continuing the same patterns. You know, I believe that that's part of why we're in relationship, whether it's, relationship with ourselves, the earth, or others, or a sacred union. Those are there to show us where we're still not yet embodied and in full acceptance. So I know I'm choosing ascension, but I feel like I'm learning a lot from what all of you shared about this other side, and really not focusing on the judgment of others. Like, really, everybody has their own path, and even everyone has their own way of being a way shower and a light worker. I realize this is, some people are really here to hold the light, and they don't even want to look at the darkness. That's not what they're here for. Some of us are bridges, and there's different types of being a bridge or a pillar. And I just have realized that we all have our own sacred role and our divine mission in this ascension process. And then I definitely have had experiences with parallel realities. I've had a few experiences where I either like kind of had a daydream or thought of something, had a vision, and then the exact thing happened, whether it was, a week later or a couple months later. So I've had a few experiences like that where I've been like, whoa, like that actually had already, I believe it's all happening simultaneously. That's what I have come to discern from that. I'm totally open and learning and excited to see where this goes. But that's something I've experienced several times in my life, and it's really mind-blowing. And also I believe that our gifts, like Raquel was saying about our psychic gifts, and many of my gifts have been coming online even more and more rapidly over the last few months. So I believe that that's going to continue to happen. Thanks.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you so much. All right, let's go to Andrew. We'll stay in the same order that we've been using. Andrew?
All right. Yeah. Okay. What was coming through for me as far as like ascension goes, knowing that, yes, we're all on a different timeline as far as like the age of our individual souls in the creation. However, from like past life regressions that I've experienced, and through just like the enslavement and torture and all these things of humanity and all these like really dark things that have happened on the history of this planet, um, and like with having the warrior spirit, it's really helped me see that like critical time mass awakening to just really choose what we desire, especially coming from those histories and even being a part of it in other like lifetimes. And so um part of it's helped me to really just accept all of that and forgive, even though it's really difficult to forgive like such treachery, because it makes me so angry inside, to which is the fuel for the fire to let that go and ultimately choose the highest timeline that we're really trying to create, because we don't want that anymore, and if people want to choose whatever new world order, slavery to this control of like darkness, as I say honestly, it's like screw all of that. Like why? So I accept that there's that timeline, but personally I don't want anything to do with that, because as a sovereign soul for liberation, I want liberation for everybody, and I want love, and I want the humanity to get back to the connection to the sacred of all, in creation, and to walk in the sacred way, in sacred union with like all the divine, with Mother Earth and creation itself, to yeah, to live and dance as we were born to. So I choose ascension all the way, and not to like spiritual bypass or anything, but as far as any of the other things of descension, I just like don't even want that in my consciousness anymore. So I say goodbye to that and welcome what we actually want, because we've already done that a long time. And so that's for that. The other question, I'm kind of confused on it. It was something about like timeline
Parallel
splits.
universes. Parallel universes.
So I've had some pretty wild like experiences through doing like medicine work and whatnot, where I was in multiple realities at the same time, and I like went up like from here, and I like went up to like through the dimensions, and I got to see like my highest self. And then I had this like amazing awakening of like, wow, that's me across all time, space, and realities. And it was like, okay, yeah. So actually, it's interesting because when I'm like feeling weird and like in this dense body and things like that, I'll just go to these times I've experienced my truest self, knowing that is here now, and I'll like have conversations with myself. Like, here, I accept where I am in this life now, knowing that there's other parts of me or versions of myself out there that are like doing really amazing things in the universe. And that gives me motivation here now, knowing that although I'm at this level, knowing that I have so much more going on out there, and I can pull in that wisdom and that motivation to just pretty much like be the liberation rock star that I am right now, and just like owning that. And I just feel like, wherever anyone is right now in their journey, is to like really own what you have to offer and just really embody your own inner rock star, and just say like, screw all the madness, like thank you for showing us what we don't want, and then standing really firm and strong within, because it's a choice to be unwavering and stand really really strong, and in who you really are, is our our divinity, and knowing that in these other timelines or parallel realities, we're also doing amazing things, and pull from there those other energies or gifts or whatever knowledge, and like anchor that here now to help spread more of the frequency of love, liberation, and high vibration. And that's all I got to say about that. So thank you.
That's a lot. That's beautiful. Thank you, Andrew. Because we only have like 15 minutes left, I'm going to start just reminding people that you can learn about all of these incredible presenters by going to Soul Search. It's soulsearch.io. And so, for example, here's Andrew's page where you can listen to his YouTube video here. It's Time to Heal. Contact information. You can reach out to him, send him your information. And this is going to be true for all of our presenters. They all are on Soul Search, amongst so many incredible beings that are already on it. And if you're not on it yet, and you can hear my voice, you should be on it. So definitely make sure you register today for Soul Search. That's at soulsearch.io. And write to Andrew, write to Raquel, write to Suzanne, write to Kalina or Nicole, or the people you saw earlier this week. One thought, when Andrew was talking, why would anybody want that? Something that one of our presenters pointed out when that was asked on the show a long time ago, actually, was look at how many people go to horror movies. Now, probably the majority of people on this panel, the majority of people watching this show don't go to horror movies. I certainly don't. And I imagine most people don't. But somebody's going because they keep making them. And often they're number one at the box office. So, sometimes it's hard for us because we live in such a beautiful love and light kind of spiritually based reality, to recognize that there's a lot of people that enjoy going to horror movies or have very different belief systems and very or a different just are different. But I do remind us that it's all God experiencing itself. It's all part of the unified field of ever-changing molecules. And as Deepak pointed out when he was on the show, if we live to be 90 years old, we will share approximately 10,000 molecules with every other being who has ever lived. That's how interconnected we are. So it's kind of important to appreciate how blessed we are that we have kind of our community, SoulSearch, Global Peace Tribe, and that we're kind of living in our love and light bubble. And there are other people that are living in a different bubble. All right. We are going to hear from Raquel, and I'm very eager to hear what Raquel has to say about these two questions. You're on.
So the first question about evolution and devolution, to me, that is a way of perception. Again, I honestly think that at the end of the day, all of life is in a perpetual state of evolution. And so there are times where it appears that we're in a standstill or regressing, if you will. But at the end of the day, we are all here to know ourselves. And so this is a process of knowing all aspects of life, of who we are, of who we could be. And right now in this moment of history, I really feel that there are those that are assisting us to grow and evolve. And then there are the other ones that are entrapped in the prison of enslavement of perception. And, these are very different realities. And I know that at some point of the journey, everyone is going to achieve the same understanding about themselves, that we are not separate. So right now at this point of history, it's really about having this understanding that we're not separate become the big thing in the world. So it doesn't mean that everyone is going to see that, but it does mean that the majority already is. And this is why we're having this mass awakening happen. And because we are all interconnected, like you were saying, the more people that wake up to this reality, the more oneness we bring to this. And so this is where we start to create the new matrix that we're going to be operating under. This is the consciousness, our consciousnesses that are lighting up and awakening to this and then joining forces. And so I ultimately feel that it's a choice. It's a choice. And at some point, we all get to see that we're not separate, and some are going to choose later, and that's okay. And the ones that are being a catalyst for us to grow and pushing us to grow and helping us to realize this and to know ourselves, they're doing their part. They're doing their part. And at the end of the day, they too realize or will realize that we are all one. We are not separate. And so in their own way, they're going to experience that too. Now, as far as parallel universes and reality goes, ooh, so exciting. Yes, of course, absolutely. I mean, let's start right off the bat by bringing past lives into the picture. Past lives are a parallel reality. If you take time away from the equation, they're a parallel reality. How about that? So parallel realities, they can take place in many ways, shapes, and forms, through lucid dreaming, through past life regressions, through meditation, through even just altered states of awareness. And in your waking state, including more of your perceptions, your awareness into your reality, you can tune in. Even your imagination is a doorway to these parallel realities. And again, I want to just really bring this down to, boil down to the one truth here is that we are having a collective leap in evolution happening. So as we take this quantum leap in evolution, we're naturally going to start becoming more aware of these parallel realities, of these other possibilities, these other states of awareness that we are also operating in. And this, at the end of the day, it's really a matter of that oneness and being interconnected. And we can easily tap into different states of awareness through that oneness as a vehicle. So these are all things that are going to be opening up more to us as we ourselves evolve, as we ourselves increase our capacity to receive more information, which is this embodiment. This is when we start to open up into, oh, now that's not a miracle anymore. That's not a crazy, right? When right now, so many people consider, going to a parallel universe, one of these, wow, we can only achieve this and if we're really deep in meditation. Pretty soon we're going to be doing that instantaneously. It's not going to be a mystery anymore. It's going to be a normal part of our existence. So it starts with now, with waking up that there is more, that we are more, and then just relaxing into the process, having fun with it. And most important, Scott, let's remember that even though there are many multiple realities, we are here for a reason. So I just want to end with that because I see a lot of us getting so excited with the idea of having access to these other realities and dimensions and versions of ourselves, and even different star systems and star family and the different aliens and all of that. And it's really beautiful, really exciting to expand our awareness in that way. But there is a fine line also with not being fully here. And remembering that at the end of the day, we are in this body for a reason. We have chosen to take on Gaia as part of our vessel for a reason. So above and foremost, this is the ultimate, in my opinion, the ultimate spirituality you could be focusing on right now is being here. And if we can master this, the rest is going to be easy.
Thank you so much for that.
You're
My buddy
welcome.
Jonathan and I were just talking about that, how there's a stage of evolution where we want to get out of our body, take as much plant medicine or psychedelics or meditation or yoga, whatever. I want to leave my body. But then, really, most of the people that I connect with that are like next level, it's like, no, let's be fully in the body.
Yes.
It's nice to be able to leave the body on occasion. But the body is such a blessing. This body temple is such an incredible blessing. And I do a lot of work with people that are dying. And we've done a lot of near-death experience shows. And almost everybody, once they're out there, go, oh my God, enjoy your time in the body. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's uncomfortable at times, but there's nothing quite like the human dimension. There's nothing like the five senses, you know.
Amen.
When the
This is
astral
the
plane,
biggest breakthrough that we're going to be having in Ascension is here, us in
yeah,
our bodies.
being fully in the body, exactly. So thank you for that. Thank you,
Thank
thank you.
you. And thank you all the listeners too. Thank you.
Again, you can find Raquel on SoulSearch. And Raquel, as an astrologer, it looks like you're available for consultations one-on-one with people.
I am actually, I am just really passionate about diving deep into what I call the heart, soul, and essence of astrology. So that's what I do when I get a chart. I go deep into the true reason why you're here at the end of the day, and really putting together the essence of the soul, of your soul, and your journey here. And so helping you understand your cycles, what's happening with you now, the decisions you have to make, all based on this perspective of mind, body, soul, heart, spirit, above and foremost, to help you navigate through this transition, this ascension that we're all going through in your power, finding your purpose, finding who you truly are, and what your voice is meant to be in this next stage.
Wow. All right. So if that spoke to people, and I know it spoke to me, I'm imagining it spoke to a lot of people. It's Raquel Spring. And again, go to soulsearch.io, register, become part of SoulSearch. It's free. And then look up Raquel, and then you can just send right here, you put in your name and all your information, and you can send the message. So,
Thank you. I look forward to sharing space with you.
yeah, likewise. Thank you, Raquel. Thank you. Wow, what an incredible assortment of amazing souls today. I'm really impressed. And Kalina, we're going to you next. Again, this question about, do we need to descend first, come into the body first before we can ascend? And any thoughts about parallel universes?
Well, it's amazing what Raquel was just saying. And I know Raquel very well, but I am one of those people that is multidimensional in this physical body. I am flying out of my body all the time, and it's not purposely because I don't want to be here. It's because of all of the different work that I'm doing in the parallel realities, or taking myself to other spaces and places to help people. I can be sitting here right now and literally see myself on the other side of the screen. So there's those of us that are actually embodied fully in the different parts of who we are. And one of the things that I always talk about is that we're here to embody all that we've ever been in the highest benevolence, source, love, light, to become the best version of ourself this time, our source self now. And we bring that into the physical body. But somebody asked the question about the quantumness and being multidimensional. I've been working like this for a long time. I started embodying the different aspects of myself at only 13 years old. I've always been awake. So we are doing these things, and a lot of us come here to do different jobs upon the planet. We have different service work, and one of mine is to show people that we really are this. We are all that out there and can bring it in here at the same time and utilize all of the gifts and abilities that we've had in all these different parallel lives that are of the, I guess, whatever you wish to choose. I'm choosing the highest light and bringing that in and creating this best version to help people to accelerate and move beyond it. And then one of the things that I do is activate that in people through their DNA at the cellular level. And it's interesting that everyone was talking about the timelines, because I literally just posted a video about timelines and the importance of moving through your timelines and the importance of how it shifts Gaia as well. So there's a lot going on with all of that. The first question, I can't remember what the first question was because I'm just like flowing. But let's see. Yes, I'm in the moment, so I don't remember your first question. That's dissension, yes, dissension. Sorry, my team is talking to me at the same time. Dissension. So I have helpers since I was a very small child, since 3. So
That's great.
yeah, so what I see when I work with people is I see their blueprint. And in that blueprint, I see how you came in and where you're at in your process. And what I know about the blueprint is you came in to experience certain things that you've chosen before you came here. And it's very relevant for your soul to evolve. So some people come on the journey, and I don't feel, I'm not getting the word descension. They come in to choose what experience at what level that they wish to, whether you want to call it shadow side, dark side, negativity, however you want to view that and term it. I see it as a level of experience for the soul self to evolve into the higher aspects of themselves and the higher light to embody that all at once. But you have to go through the experience to shift the duality within yourself and bring it back to love to dissolve it. You see the polarities. And through this, no judgment, honor and respecting yourself, and honor and respecting everyone else where they are in this process. But we have to come to terms here first. And then we see the big picture of everybody else. Everyone is doing this in oneness because we are one heart, one life, one love.
Beautiful. Of course, Kalina is also on SoulSearch. It's Kalina Melnar, an Ascension Wayshower International Facilitator, Divine Source Channel, Divine Feminine New Earth Leader, and much, much more. Multidimensional quantum energy healer. So clearly there's a lot of wonderful ways, Kalina, that you support people. And are you also currently available to see clients?
I am, just so people know, I'm like always booked since 2017, about 3 months out. So if you book your session, there's a wait time. I do have events going on currently, but it's just the way it's been for a while. So I
Well,
do.
congratulations. That's a wonderful place to be at. So
Thank you.
thank you, Kalina. It's been wonderful having you on the show.
Thank you.
Well, the Sedona experience continues as we go to our dear Suzanne Ross. Hi, Suzanne.
Hi, thank you, Scott. Yes, I just am taking in what everyone is sharing, and I just love the broad perspectives that we all have to offer, and just re-emphasizing that the divine is within everyone. The divine is within all that is. And this is a free will zone. And so just honoring the free will choices that everyone is making on the planet at this time, because it truly is about the experience, like Scott was saying. And all the souls who choose to come here have the opportunity to experience the reality from all these different perspectives. And the villains give us an opportunity to have heroes, and the darkness serves the light. And it's all just about the lessons that we've come here to learn through the different roles that we're all playing. And I just love all human beings and all things on planet Earth, and just, really try to stay focused on honoring the different experiences that everyone has come here to have, and all of the different roles everyone has come here to play on this planet Earth that we call home. Because yes, we are all one, and it's a beautiful journey into the light when we stay in our heart full of love. And so, yes, I do definitely focus on parallel realities. I offer timeline regressions and also multidimensional soul reunions, because what I've discovered is that through these multidimensional soul reunions, especially when we're connecting with the higher aspect of ourself in a higher dimension, that allows us to become more advanced and evolved in our own being, streaming consciousness with this higher dimensional aspect. And it is mutually beneficial. But for us, merging with this more evolved aspect can ignite dormant DNA and bring more of our brain online. And as we're welcomed in to the next higher dimensional plane, to be with the other soul extensions who are already experiencing that plane, then we start to become part of this soul group that's in that higher dimensional plane. And so I feel like, yes, there are all of these parallel realities of who we are being in all these different timelines and all these different dimensions. And when we can start to reunite those fragmented soul aspects in those other timelines and dimensions, we can have a sense of returning to wholeness.
Beautiful. That's so beautifully stated. And Suzanne is on SoulSearch. You find her under Suzanne Ross Transcendence. And I love this, what somebody wrote about you. Suzanne is a compassionate coach and caring mentor who is passionate about healing your emotional body, balancing your karma, clearing your energy field, realigning you with your divine purpose, and activating your light body. Boom. That covers most of the bases beautifully. And I love that it's all done with compassion, Suzanne. So thank you so much. Wow. Well, I'm gonna bring everybody up one last time so we can see all these. This has been just an extraordinary collection of souls. Thank you all for spending your Sunday morning with us. And I now know that we've got to do a Global Peace Tribe retreat in Sedona, like we were talking about, Suzanne. That's got to happen. And I definitely look forward to meeting and connecting with all of you. And again, a reminder, everybody, go to soulsearch.io. And we always conclude our show with music. Andrew, do you want to do one more song for us?
Yeah, I was wondering, like, I mean, just one, or could I do like maybe two?
Well, we're already at 11:37 and the show usually ends at 11:30. So how about let's keep it to one wonderful Andrew song?
All right. We can do that. Well, so we'll do this one. This one's a fairly new song, and it's called Love, Grace, Gratitude, and Peace.
And I want to invite everybody, whether you're a panelist or one of our guests watching, one of our regulars, turn on your cameras, move to the music, and I'll go to gallery view periodically. Take it away, Andrew.
Okay, just want to make sure can you hear my guitar coming through?
Guitar sounds good.
It's a brand new day. This is our time to shine. So let's celebrate what we have together in life. Yeah, 'cause this is our time. Yeah, this is our moment to rise. Just like the sun, forgive and let go, and to come as we are, all you beautiful souls. I hope and I pray we live every single day in the spirit of love and grace, gratitude and peace. I hope and pray. So come, all of my people, let us fill our cups, and we'll pour out our hearts, lift our brothers and sisters up. Yeah, I hope and I pray we live every single day in the spirit of love and grace, gratitude and peace. I hope and pray. So let's come as we are, born to shine like the stars, because we never know where we're gonna go. So let us sing so loud heaven knows. We hope and we pray we live every single day in the spirit of love and grace, gratitude and peace. I hope and pray.
Peace.
We live every single day in the spirit of love. Gratitude and peace. Yeah, hope and pray.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Andrew. What a
You're
beautiful
welcome.
message. Your songs have such powerful messages. And
Thank
gosh,
you.
mm, this has been a wonderful show. I mean, I've been doing this show for 2.5 years. I gotta say, this is one of my favorite ones. Each and every one of you, each time you spoke, was filled with so much beautiful wisdom, so much for us to share. So, a reminder, everybody, that you can replay the recording of this by several ways. You can go onto my Facebook page, you can go to the Love Coach Academy Facebook page, or the Global Peace Tribe Facebook page, and this will also show up on our YouTube channel in the next couple of days. And share it with people because there was so much wisdom. This is one of those shows to watch over and over because each person shared so much. It was very rich. Next weekend is going to be pretty amazing also. Next weekend on The Awakening World, it's authors that we love. And I've invited most of the people are people that have been on the show before. We've got a couple of new people, but they're all authors and they've all written wonderful books. And we're going to get a chance to talk with them. And some of the amazing people, we've got Matt Kahn will be with us all Friday night live answering questions. And Matt's a delight. He's wonderful. We've got Andrew Harvey and talk about Saturday and Sunday now. Carolyn Meese and Catherine Woodward Thomas and several other people. Trish will be co-hosting with me on Friday night. And beloved Kristen Hoffman will be co-hosting on Saturday night. And Oshar is going to be playing live music on the main show Saturday night. We also have a pre-record with Jai Utal. And we're going to have Fanny and Vigari coming back. They're going to play next Saturday night. And then the Sacred Sunday show, we have my beloved Andrew Harvey. I love Andrew. And then we also have another wonderful new author that you can enjoy meeting. So it's going to be a great weekend. Definitely make sure you join us next weekend. And in conclusion for today, remember that the Sacred Sunday show is multi-denominational, and you can make any moment sacred just by choosing to see the divinity in all, just as all of these wonderful presenters tonight or today have demonstrated. So I'm going to go to gallery view one last time. Let's all wave goodbye. Thank you, everybody. It's been a beautiful show.